And I know there are some BNI people here who are very, very good at the networking thing, and there's some of us that are not as good at it, so we have a lot to learn tonight. And really, these nights are about learning. In fact, what we've done as a media company is we worked very, very hard to be a part of that learning process, a part of that leadership process, a part of that self-development process. I am going to give a little pitch right now to an event we have coming up with the Eagle Tribune of Merrimack College on April the 2nd. We have an event coming up called Building Your Digital Platform. So if you're interested in building your digital platform, SEO, inbound marketing, we have the founder of HubSpot coming in to speak. We have a full day of building your digital platform April the 2nd. You can get information about that on the Eagle Tribune's website. So mark that one down. Let's talk a bit about what we're here to do tonight, though. We're talking about networking. And I like to call it being bold and making connections. And I've blogged about this on my website. You see it up there, algetler.com. I urge you to go there and sign up to receive my blog posts each day. I also have my contacts on Twitter and LinkedIn. But we're talking a bit beyond that. Making connections in business is really what it's all about today. I tell people that in business, you have to work as hard as ever to make a buck. Would some of you in business agree with that right now in this economy? Yeah, and in fact, some of you I've spoken to tonight have all basically said the same thing. Things are starting to turn around. Would you agree with that too? We're starting to see some signs of life out there, and that's a very, very good thing. Nothing could be more important than making connections in today's economy. And there are several ways to do it, so let's talk about that. There's a young lady that I encountered when I was at a HubSpot meeting, a conference in Boston this past summer. And I was so taken by her that I actually wrote a blog post about her and followed her adventure. This is her website, How to Market to Me. Lindsay had a goal, and her goal was to work for HubSpot. So, like every good networker would do, she read that they were having a giant conference in Boston, people coming from all over the world to attend it. And she bought what she could afford, an $85 entry into one of the speeches at the HubSpot conference. The conference cost nearly $1,000 to be a part of. She paid for the one $85 speech, keynote speech to hear. Now, if you were her, once you got there and paid your $85 and you knew how to network, what might you do? You might try to upgrade your ticket, right? And you say, well, this kid just coming out of college, coming out of BU, I mean, is she really going to be able to talk her way into a startup that people are talking about all around the world? You bet she did. She upgraded her ticket 100% and got herself an $895 entry into the HubSpot conference. I'm talking to her because I heard her talking to a few of the people at the conference that day. Now, Lindsay wanted to work for HubSpot. Don't forget the main reason why she was there. She wanted to be a part of that company. So with this upgraded entry that she had developed for herself, she went to every single speaker who was from the company, introduced herself, gave them a business card, and on the back of the business card it said, with a blank line, "This is where you met me, and this is what we talked about." Now, how many of you have gotten business cards at the end of a networking event? You come home, if you do what I do, you throw them on the bureau, right? About 6 months later, your spouse says, "Would you please clean off that bureau?" Am I right? Right? You find about 50 business cards, and you find one, you go, "Well, who the hell is that guy? I have no idea where I met him or why I talked to him." And what happens to that card?
Round file.
Round file in the trash. Chances are you had a very valuable conversation with that individual. But because you're busy people, because you network a lot, you could not remember what you had talked to that person about. So I thought her idea of writing, not only gave it to them, expected them to write, she actually wrote, "It was great talking to you, Al," read my name tag. "This is what we talked about," handed it to me. I thought, wow, this kid's amazing. 2 weeks later, you got it. She landed a job at HubSpot. Out of school for a total of about 4 weeks. Do you know what the job market was like? went to work for one of the hottest companies in Boston, and now she's writing blog posts for them and working in their marketing department. Do today who are maybe just in school or just about getting out of school? What are they depending upon? The internet. They do a LinkedIn page maybe because they know they're about to graduate college. They send a few emails with resumes attached, and they sit and they wait, right?
It's going to come to them.
Yeah, like it's going to come to them. Like they're God's gift to the job market. Fast forward in life to a person who's 45 years old, got laid off from the job they worked at for 20 years, and has to go out and find a new job. The problem is they're doing the same. It boils down to flesh meeting flesh. It boils down to the handshake. It boils down to making a relationship that counts. It's not just sending off an email, filling out a LinkedIn profile, and expecting the world to come to you. It's a lot more than that. It's about being like Lindsay. It's about being bold and making connections. That's what gets you ahead in today's world. Now, is this a bold little girl? You betcha. Be bold and make connections. That's what this is all about. So often we forget what it was like when we were that age. When you put a mask and a cape on and you were a superhero. You were unstoppable. And maybe you took a break for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a glass of milk, but then you went back to being a superhero. Sometime in our lives we get that yanked out of us, that being bold. Let's embolden ourselves as adults tonight to say it's okay to walk across the room, network, shake someone's hand, get to know them, and make a connection. But finally, this is how we want you to look when you leave here tonight.